Round 1, Club 100 2023 was very exciting. I managed to run my camera in every single race and I think it's worth a watch. So we're going to go straight into it, no messing around. Heat 1 starting in 12th place. And Anwar gets shafted there from the front row, but he comes back here on the left. Obviously conditions very tricky, very slippery. Mike Coppin's already into the lead after 2 corners, so that's probably the win written off already. And we're just following drivers here, but we're going to go for a big dive here at turn 3. Obviously really poor traction coming out, then getting squeezed between 2 drivers up in the air in front of JV, probably not too happy with that. Regardless, we carry on, we're just behind Anwar and we're up to 5th place already. I didn't do the 30-minute test session, a lot of these drivers did, so they got a little bit of an eye into these wet conditions. I'm still trying to learn, but however it's been a very good start. This is heat 1 of course, of round 1. Anwar goes a little bit on the red paint there, slows down a little bit. But I'm trying to follow him now, and yeah, as I say, still trying to get used to these conditions. Anwar gets a much better run out of this corner than I do. I did struggle on that corner on that occasion, and but luckily we still had a gap to people behind. And yeah, still trying to make up time, still trying to learn. But we do have Anwar ahead. We also have Andrew Ward ahead as well, currently in 2nd place. Mike is currently gapping everyone in 1st. And yeah, with that hairpin there, it was quite dry on the entry and then slippery on the exit. And yeah, we're basically tiptoeing around this corner here. Really good fun. I always love these conditions. I love it more when I can drive them very well. But we are reeling in the drivers in front of us, kind of just following Anwar for now. I know that Anwar will go for these overtakes, and so I'll just hope that I can kind of follow suit, really. And we're getting closer here. It goes for quite a tight line here. It's going to be 3 wide, bit of contact, and we're going to try and come out this corner well, maybe try and push some drivers. I'm just trying to cause some more mayhem, so maybe I can open up an opportunity for myself. And Anwar's in front of Johnson here, and I'm going to get in front of Johnson as well, but not for long. Johnson does fight back. I can't remember which side he is of me right now. He must be to the right, must be close by. I think he is to my right hand side at the moment, and that forces me to take a little bit of a more tighter line, but I do not get a very good exit here whatsoever, and he is able to out drag me to the S's here. But we're going to try and do a cheeky switchback, which pays off, and down the hill we go. And as you can see, it's starting to dry out a little bit, and then we set our eyes on Anwar and Andrew. And Anwar has got in front of Andrew Ward by this point. We are trying to reel in Mr. Andrew Ward himself. And I'm reluctant to go on the red paint areas because I know it's slippery apart from that corner there. And we are getting closer now with every corner. As you see, Mike's got a very decent gap now, and it is just a matter of making up positions here. Mr. Ward does go a little bit wide, so we do gain a position there. Didn't have to do too much. And onto the final lap now. And it was quite good actually in this last lap. I just wanted you to kind of see like these conditions, just trying to see where the grip is, try and drive to the track conditions. I did actually manage to set the fastest lap as well on this last lap, so yeah, it was a very good start to the day. 12th to 3rd with fastest lap. As you can see, it is starting to dry up now. We are carrying a bit more speed through these corners. Only 7-minute heats, of course. 3 heats, obviously, random grids, and then a final. A, B or C final. This is a very good start, as you can see. We are going to move on to heat 2 in a moment once we finish this lap, which I start in pole position, which yeah, maybe doesn't start off as well as this one, but we'll get to that. So we come around the last corner here. As you can see, we are carrying a lot more speed now, and yeah, onwards we go. So this was a couple of heats later, a lot more drier. I didn't get a great start. I didn't want to shaft Harrison Kirkham to my left, but instead I ended up shooting myself in the foot because I lost position there. And then behind, we're going to get tapped into this corner and then tapped again, spun round. Awful. And then I get shoved into the driver to the left here, and look how many positions I've lost now. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I was in about 12th position there. So from 1st to 12th in 2 corners. And then, yeah, so now I'm angry. I'm really annoyed. And we just got to make up as many spaces as possible. This driver in front, braking a bit early than I'm expecting. So I'm just trying to kind of open up the corner, try and get by him as soon as possible. But yeah, right now I can tell you I was livid, and I was eager to make up positions fast, eager to go for positions, and I felt like going into this heat it would be a relatively, not a relatively, but a somewhat great chance of winning the heat. And now we're looking at a really poor position, and we've got to do something about it. As you can see, a lot drier through here than it was in our first heat. We're going to make a move on this driver here. Fairly clean and tidy, trying not to lose too much time, although it seems that we slid a bit on the exit. But it doesn't take long, just less than a lap, and we're back on the back of these next drivers. And again, we're going to make another move into this corner here. I did like this spot for overtaking. It is designed very well for overtaking, just with how it's designed. And we are quite far back from this driver in front, but we're going to storm down this hill. I'm going to go for a move right at the bottom into paddock. Great overtake, and we've got Yusuf in front. We're going to try and track him down now. And away we go, just making our way around, securing the position, and onwards we move to Yusuf. In fact, actually, he's managed to get in front of this driver here. Now it's our turn to try and get in front of this driver, who actually comes out that corner a bit better than we do. But as you say, late on the brakes. And I've got impatient by this point. Just send it down the inside. Yusuf actually slides a little bit on entry, so that slows him down. I end up going into him. So the overtake could have been a bit cleaner, but nonetheless we're through. And Yusuf can see that my rate of progress is very fast, and he's just going to point me through here. We're in different classes, so yeah, fair enough from him. And it means we can work together to move on to Ashley White. It's very smart thinking from Yusuf. And yeah, we're going to carry on. We're going to actually play this heat out till the end. It's only like 2 laps left. And we've got Ashley White ahead, who actually was a driver who took me out at turn 2. I didn't know who it was, obviously, at the time, so I didn't know if he had a penalty or not, but obviously he did have a penalty from wiping me out. And so to me, catching him and overtaking him was crucial. Obviously, little did I know he had a penalty for taking me out, and it didn't actually matter if I overtook him anyway. But regardless, we are trying to hunt him down on 1 lap left. He is quite far in front. He is a C1 driver, but we are going to just brake really, really late. That's where we're making up all our time. Just a lot more confidence in these conditions in this moment, and I'm sure that anger has something to help me there. And coming down the hill, I'm thinking maybe into paddock, and he's just kind of, I don't know what happened there. I just don't think it was, I felt like if I went for it, I didn't want to risk anything, but yeah, it didn't pull that off. And we're going to settle for this position, but we actually did have there were penalties in front, and I ended up finishing P2, so I managed to recover to P2, but annoyingly once to P1. Obviously those points do matter in the end, but regardless, a good recovery. On to heat number 3 then, starting P8. We're going to get aggressive, we're going to get elbows out. Obviously still angry from the previous heat. This heat, I was actually back-to-back heats for me, so no waiting around. And we're just going to go for moves here. Slightly sliding into Steph here on the right, but regardless, still getting a good few positions, and we're going to carry on our way. No expectations for this heat going in, apart from just going all out and getting any position that I could. Driver in the black there, just losing a bit of, just sliding out really, and again slides out into this corner here, and we managed to get through. So following Steph now up the hill, we're going to work on this next driver in front of us, and I'm just going to and this driver actually goes quite wide, and so that's the position for Steph, nice and easy. I'm going to try and follow through as well. I'm going to open up the corner, hopefully I can enter the corner a bit quicker. The driver is still to my left here, still to my left. I'm just going to carry it around the outside, and onwards we go. So we are up to 4th place after a lap and a bit, so it's a positive start. But we're not done yet, and we are going to follow Steph for a little bit. It's important to get an overtake done. If we are to overtake, we want to lose as little time as possible, and that's the plan really. Obviously, naturally I'm thinking hairpin 2 again, because that is the area where you can make an overtake and still set a fastest lap. As you can see, I'm getting the lean burn there, so lots of top speed. high top speed, sorry. And yeah, we are thinking about into hairpin 2. Just kind of hoping Steph doesn't defend too much, and he doesn't, which is good. Which means we can just get an overtake done, and both of us won't lose much time at all. We can reel in these next 2 drivers, and just a few corners later, these 2 drivers ahead are battling hard. It's Dan Seeger and Bryn Album. Now we're eager to get involved. We want this win badly. We need to make up for the previous heat. And we're thinking about it. We're thinking, should we do it the next corner? Maybe not. These drivers ahead pretty good on the brakes. So again, we're thinking naturally hairpin 2. Just don't lose as much time. And yeah, as you can see there, got an overtake done without losing any time at all, really. So now we can focus on Bryn Albin, who definitely wants this win. There's no doubt about that. You can tell by the way he's driving. He's hard into paddock. He's very good on the brakes. He's trying his best to stay in front. So I know if I'm to win this one, I have to work for it. Gonna have to find a decent overtaking spot. I know naturally he's going to try and defend into hairpin 2 as well. And here we go, getting the lean burn again. And he runs a little wide there. I'm thinking about it. Should I go for a move here? But it's a good job I didn't. He's so late on the brakes. Really, really good on the brakes. So thinking, should we try hairpin 2? He's got it covered a little bit, but we try anyway. Slid into him a bit more than I would have liked, so I pointed him through. Let him carry on, and we just try again, really. It's the best way to be. He gave a thumbs up, and we carry on as if nothing happened. Which is good, so we can carry on. Try and find a different area to overtake, because now that I've tried hairpin 2, he's going to be a bit more wise to it. I feel like I'm not going to be able to see any daylight there now, so I'm going to have to get creative if I am to win this heat. There we go, he's checking where I am. It's I'm just trying to put him off by this point, try and get him to use lines that maybe he doesn't want to use. And I thought I got a poor exit out of turn 1, so he's got a little bit of a gap now, so no chance at all to get to hairpin 2, plus he has it pretty well covered off anyway. He takes it quite tight, so I get a good run out this corner, in the slipstream as well, so it's really helping. Down the hill, again, no chance into paddock. He's carrying loads of speed into there and got that all covered off, but he slides out a little bit here. I'm going to try and go underneath him, but he covers it off. So I'm going to sit in the middle, then he runs a little bit wide, and we're thinking, should we set up an unlikely switch back? We get it done. Dan Seeger also helps us, little push, and into the lead. And we managed to win this heat. There was nothing much else that happened there, so we're going to go straight into the A final then. No messing around, as I say. And obviously starting on anti-pole side is a massive disadvantage, usually. And as you can see there, starting 4th, and we're already down to like 6th at this point. Now 7th, something around there. We're going to go and try and get around these drivers, but we're getting pushed wide now, and we're losing a bunch of spots. We're now down to like 10th at this point, but we're going to make up a few spaces going in. Now we're back to 8th, so 4th to 8th in 3 corners, and I'm thinking, wow. I can see the top 3 getting away as well. I'm thinking this race is going to... Yeah, at the time I'm thinking I was expecting that. Obviously, anti-pole side is very difficult to get a good start. But couldn't lose my head. Just had to work on each driver as we caught them. So obviously, first one being Stephen Westwood, who's obviously done very well to get himself into the position that he has. I believe the top 4, top 5 drivers all started on the right hand side of the grid, so you can tell that is a great place to start. We've been able to get past Stephen Westwood here, and now we've got our eyes set on Matt Wildman in front and Yusuf. Obviously at this point I'm hoping for a bit of battling up front so I can catch up, because this is not an ideal situation to be in. I was hoping to be with that group, but unfortunately we're a few karts behind where we want to be right now. These races aren't that long either. I think it's only 12 minutes this race, so eager to get on with it. Matt Wildman himself will look to try and get past Yusuf. Yusuf a class 2 driver, so doesn't really have to worry too much about racing the C1s. He's highest C2 driver by a fair amount. So he gets overtaken by Matt Wildman here, checks behind, and I just slide past as well. And it's at no loss to him. really, because he's class 2, and he of course, if he was class 1, he'd probably fight that a bit harder. But regardless, we've all C1 drivers ahead now. And now suddenly I feel like I have a bit more hope than I did 2 laps ago. I feel like there's actually a chance. We are catching Sam, and Matt 1 goes for a move, pushes them both wide. And we're going to try and get involved in this. We're going to try and follow Sam through past Matt 1, and it works. And obviously it's great that we've gained a position, but we are losing a bit of time to the top 3 now. And so next thing is trying to catch Sam up. Or not catch him up, sorry. It's just slide past. But he is wise, so he had a slightly poor turn there, so he's going to defend. But we don't want to lose too much time, so we are just going to push him along. Try and catch up to these top 3. It's not going to take... It's going to take a bit more than a few laps, but regardless, we need to start somewhere. And Sam actually drives this corner very well here. He gets a much better turn than me, and so he's actually accelerated away a little bit. But we are going to try and catch up. As you can see, Ed and Rob are racing side by side at the front. They are exchanging positions. We are eager to try and just get past Sam, try and pull us both along. And we are going to overtake him into this corner here, which is a good decision. Neither of us lost really any time there, so we can then crack on and worry about the drivers ahead and moving a bit further into the race. That is the gap, and in a moment I am going to play this out till the end with the live stream footage and my GoPro footage for you to enjoy. No commentary by me, just let you enjoy it. As you can see, this is, yeah, I've got a bit of... There was this period of the race I was trying to drive as fast as I could, and I would slowly catch the drivers in front, and Anwar and Matt were slowly catching me. And then coming to the last few laps, it all gets very entertaining. So I am going to stop commentating in a moment and let you enjoy the live stream and the GoPro footage at the same time. This was a really good race, and I can't wait for more. Without further ado, enjoy the rest of this.
But this is a... I agree with what you said about the super final feel to it, mate. The pace amongst this top 6, that is in no way to take... Oh, there's a clip of the bollard there from Mike Coppin. I think got to be careful there.
Just got away with that one.
Yeah.
But he's definitely on the ragged edge.
I think Rob Newman is really ragging everything out of this car.
And let's not forget, when we talk about super final, we refer to the very last race of a BUKC championship season, when you get your 3 classes of the individual drivers championship. You get the top 10 from each. You have a 30 driver race, and it's always one of the races of the year. Rob Newman has won that race in the past. He is a former BUKC. That's a big off. That is a very, very big off. Is that Stephen Westwood?
It is, yeah.
Stephen Westwood has had a huge off up at turn 1, I think it is. Now, that is going to neutralise one of the big overtaking opportunities of this circuit. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah,
I have not seen a Club 100 car that deep in the tyres. Again, testament to the karts, testament to this circuit. That has gone in hard, ladies and gentlemen, and Stephen Westwood is able to walk away.
It's still all closing up, though, amongst these top 6, Andrew. This could be really interesting. We're inside the last 2 minutes now. It's going to take something supreme to knock Rob Newman off. I know it's only maybe... 2-3 kart lengths. It's enough for him to work with. If there's any battling behind him, it's his to lose. It's his to lose. But look how it's closing up now. Look at this. This is going to be something else for the next couple of laps. I should say we did see Stephen Westwood getting out of the kart. He seems okay, so that's great to see. And I think they may have cleared that now, going into turn 1.
2 laps to go then. 2 more laps for Rob Newman on his Club 100 sprints return. Don't get tight now. Don't lose that fluidity that he's had throughout the whole day. But Mike Coppin is closing here, and Mike Coppin has won races in this situation round this circuit from this very position before. We saw it a few months ago when he beat last year's champion Fraser Brunson in a 1v1 round this circuit to culminate the 2022 season. They're going to see the last lap board in a moment's time. Mike Cobbin has a little nibble there on the rear bumper of Rob Newman, but Rob Newman's resisted. One more lap to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's Newman, Coppin, Bars, Dillon, Barul, Smith and Wildman. Now Rob Newman's having to defend hard. He's got to get it down. Make sure there's no gap through hairpin
Dante
number
Dillon.
1. He's done that. Dillon up to 3rd.
Yep, Dante Dillon and Matt Wildman's having to go at Anwar Barul Smith for 5th as well as they come through hairpin number 2. It's Dante Dillon now secured in 3rd place as Ed Bars is having to go side by side with the likes of Wildman and Barul Smith. Still, it's Rob Newman coming down the hill. Mike Coppin's heading towards. He's going on the inside of there. That's unusual. He'll be on the outside for Paddock Corner. He's going to go wide, and is that going to provide an opportunity for Dante Dillon?
It is. I have never seen a move like that done before.
But Mike
Coppin's going to come around the final corner. He won to finish 2022. He wins to start 2023. Mike Coppin takes round 1 of the Club 100 Lightweight Sprints Championship with a... I have never seen anyone pull a move like that. Watch this on the second part of Syme's sweep. That is unbelievable. I have never, genuinely, I've been watching Club 100 racing for over 10 years. I have never seen that move pulled off.
Now, I want to be clear. The first part, where he's on the left-hander, as far as I'm concerned, track limit's not a problem. His rear right tyre is on the right. Bizarrely, because he's kicking out the rear right tyre is within track limits.
He's in track limits, yeah.
My only question, it was a great move. My only question to play devil's advocate, any advantage gained by being wide out of paddock is my only question for that.
Yes.
That's my devil's advocate point.
Yep.
I'm not calling it. I'm just asking the question because Rob Newman was sort of bulked on the inside. I don't know. I really don't know with that one.
Howard, I am shaking. That was, such a start to the A finals here this year. That is a big one. But we have had some post-race changes, haven't we? Already served through.
We really have, and that's big. So, hear this: there is a track limits warning penalty, to be clear, that's been applied to Mike Coppin there. So that has docked him 2 positions, and that means that Dante Dillon has been awarded with the win.
That's the decision that's been made, though. What a morning and early afternoon session we've had here at Buckmore Park for the first round of Club 100 Sprints.